Another autumn in New England and the 1980 version of a tense AFC East Division rivalry. The Miami Dolphins visited Foxborough for a Week 6 matchup with the New England Patriots. The coaching magic of Don Shula has been a constant for over a decade, and Shula would have to reach once again into his bag of tricks if Miami was to beat a powerful New England team. With veteran quarterback Bob Greasy watching from the sidelines with an injury, Dolphin hopes rested primarily on their ability to control one of the league's most explosive offenses. New England boasts two of the quickest feet around, and they belong to receivers Stanley Morgan. The Steamers' 12 catches have accounted for nearly 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. But the man responsible for the Patriots' 4-1 start is Steve Grogan. Much maligned in the past, Grogan's consistency in 1980 has pushed him to the top of the AFC quarterback ratings. In another AFC East rivalry, the return of quarterback Burt Jones to Baltimore has given the Colts immediate respectability. Without him, the Colts are middle of the road. With him, they are legitimate contenders and are more than a match for the NFL's only undefeated team, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are itching for a 6th straight win, and wide receiver Jerry Butler, last season's AFC Rookie of the Year, looks to quarterback Joe Ferguson, who has arrived as the recognized leader of the upstart Bills. Both the Bills and the Colts are clearly on the way up, and both find themselves in unlikely situations. The Bills are undefeated, and the Colts are suddenly playoff threats. Baltimore head coach Mike McCormick's first year with the Colts has brought 3 wins against 2 losses, both close defeats to the Steelers and Oilers. It's a doubleheader week as the Patriots take on the Dolphins and the Bills meet the Colts in the NFL Game of the Week. A sellout crowd in Buffalo looked on as Joe Ferguson used running back Joe Cribbs, number 20, to open up a running attack, ranked 2nd in the AFC. But the running game faltered early on, as did the Bills' short passing game. A critical factor, timing, was off, and the enthusiastic Colt defense took advantage, limiting the Bills to 11 yards on their first 2 possessions. The Baltimore offense was primed to take over where the defense left off. After a grand entrance, Joe Washington, number 20, found running room inside for 17 yards. While Washington went up the middle, wide receiver Roger Carr, number 81, went over it. Gutty catches like Carr's spread out the Buffalo secondary and cleared the lane for Mike Ciani, number 45, and the game's first touchdown. To earn the 38-yard scoring pass from Burt Jones, Ciani threaded his way through Buffalo's nickel defense. The touchdown on Baltimore's first possession gave the Colts early momentum that they held throughout the first period. The Colt offensive unit had little time to rest. The Bills surrendered the ball quickly, and Joe Washington came out smoking through the middle for another 16 yards. Traditionally, Washington is not the type of back who challenges the middle on a regular basis. That job is more suited for fullback Cleveland Franklin, number 38. The Buffalo linebacking duo of Shane Nelson and Jim Haslett collared Franklin and convinced coach Mike McCormick that it was time to get off the ground and into the air. Again, the Burt Jones to Roger Carr tandem succeeded, ending with a swan dive worth 29 yards. As the Colts threatened to double their lead, the Buffalo secondary joined forces and smothered Joe Washington, and with it a Colt bid for 6 points. Steve Mickemeier's field goal added 3 points instead, putting the Bills in the hole for one of the few times this season. The second period found the Colts' running game in a lower gear. Cleveland Franklin and the Buffalo defense met often at the line of scrimmage and deep in the secondary. After a 21-yard pickup, Buffalo cornerback Mario Clark, number 29, stripped the ball from Franklin's grasp. Number 57, Lucius Sanford, failed to regain any new ground for the Bills, and Joe Ferguson became the victim of number 72, Fred Cook, and the game's only sack. Buffalo's shotgun offense is one way to avoid the sack and gain additional time to throw. It allowed Ferguson ample time to seek out Roland Hooks, number 25. The Bills' first scoring drive was enhanced by their prize rookie running back from Auburn, number 20, Joe Cribbs, who has quickly become the team's offensive workhorse. Complementing Cribbs was Curtis Brown, number 47, whose short gains were multiplied by Baltimore penalties, putting the ball inside the Colt 5-yard line. Joe Cribbs' scoring celebration was premature, but fullback Roosevelt Leaks made it official and posted the Bills' first 6 points. Point number 7 was difficult to come by, and the bad snap was one more indication that the Bills' timing was somewhat less than exact. The timing between Burt Jones and his receivers was more precise, as Raymond Butler and Mike Ciani combined to carry the Colts toward their final score of the half. Running back Don McCauley, number 23, disappeared over the Buffalo goal line as the Colts bounced back, extending their lead to 11. The Bills' 30-second drill began with a 23-yard aerial to Frank Lewis, number 82, and ended with a Nick Mickemeier field goal, good from 39 yards. Up by 8 at the half, the Colts failed to score in the third and fourth periods. A Buffalo interception by free safety Bill Simpson, number 45, momentarily motivated the Bills in the fourth quarter, particularly Joe Cribbs. A Joe Ferguson to Reuben Gant pass netted 18 yards, but that same connection was not nearly as effective close to the goal line, as Colt rookie cornerback number 42 Derek Hatchett denied Gant a late score. A fourth period Nick Mickemeyer field goal got the Bills within 5 points. With 19 seconds remaining, it was desperation time for Buffalo. A last-second scoring attempt by Joe Ferguson was thwarted by the Colts' Kim Anderson, number 26, who needed only to run out the clock to end the game in the Bills' 5-game winning streak. It marked the Colts' fourth win of the campaign and put them within a game of first place in the AFC East. For Mike McCormick and the Colts, it was a long time coming. In New England, Don Shula received little consolation from a record that earned him a spot among the game's greatest coaches. On this day, he would watch his Miami Dolphins self-destruct. Miami's trademark under Shula has always been mistake-free football, but the Dolphins could not escape the turnover against New England. Raymond Claiborne's interception of Don Strock's first pass of the afternoon set up the game's initial score, a 30-yard field goal by the Patriots' John Smith. When Miami managed to hold on to the football, the results were not much better. The Patriots shut down Miami's weak running game, forcing the Dolphins to punt and giving All-Pro Mike Haynes, number 40, a chance to strut his stuff. Haynes' 35-yard return gave New England excellent field position for the second time in the first quarter. Sensing that the Dolphins were down and ready to be had early in the game, quarterback Steve Grogan went for the kill. Grogan's strike to the end zone was intercepted by rookie corner Don McNeil, and the Patriots and Dolphins had traded first-period turnovers. The only problem for Miami was that Don Strock was not finished handing the ball over to New England. Steve Nelson, number 57, picked off Strock's errant throw, and New England had the ball in Miami territory for the third time in as many possessions. A blitz by number 58, linebacker Kim Bocamper, temporarily derailed New England's attack. But Grogan, undaunted by Miami's aggressive defense, went back to the air. Grogan utilized the experience of Harold Jackson, number 29, as Jackson ran a turn-in pattern in front of the cornerback, and the speed to the outside of Stanley Morgan, number 86, as Morgan easily beat the man-to-man coverage. With the ball on the 2-yard line, Grogan called the number of Don Calhoun, number 44, and New England had the game's first touchdown with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. crowd responded to the 8-play, 42-yard drive that produced a 10-point advantage for the Patriots. New England's firepower was only in its infancy. Rookie Vegas Ferguson, number 43, busted up the gut and then raced to the outside for 44 yards. Brogan again wanted the big play for the quick six. This time he got it. Brogan found Harold Jackson in the seam of Miami's loose secondary coverage, and the Patriots had displayed their explosiveness in rapid succession. Trailing 17-0 midway through the second period, Don Shula knew that the Dolphins' offense would be the key to any hopes for a Miami comeback. Unable to contain New England's quick striking attack, the Dolphins would have to match the Patriots' offensive success. The game was in the hands of rookie and third-string quarterback David Woodley. Woodley was a surprise starter against the Saints in Week 4, but it was against the New England Patriots that the rookie would receive his NFL baptism. The man most eager to welcome Woodley to pro football was number 71, Ray Sugar Bear Hamilton. The Patriots' nose guard sacked Woodley 3 times in one Dolphins series late in the second quarter, when Miami needed a touchdown to fight back in the game. When Woodley had time and room to find a receiver, the Patriots' secondary made certain the ball did not end up in the hands of the intended target. The first half was over. New England had a commanding 17-0 lead. But the story can be told another way. Miami gained 28 yards in the first half, had negative yardage passing, and achieved but 3 first downs. Through 5 weeks, the Patriots' ground game has been the best in the AFC. New England's offensive line is the major reason for this success. With the ball and a big lead early in the second half, New England went to their strength with the desired results. Number 43, Vegas Ferguson, and Don Calhoun, number 44, benefited from the driving power of their offensive front as the Patriots continued to mount strong upfield surges. Keeping the Miami defense off balance, Steve Grogan switched to the pass and found Harold Jackson, number 29, for another 31 yards. Near the goal line, Vegas Ferguson got the call. Similar in style to Lydell Mitchell, Ferguson always manages to pick up 4 or 5 yards. To complete the textbook drive, Grogan went to the air once again, but this time, number 46, Don Bessalou, stepped in front for the interception. 25 minutes remained in the game. Down by 17, the Dolphins did not need to enter a state of offensive panic. Their rushing game would be important, and that meant Delvin Williams, number 24. For the first time in the game, the Dolphins found some running room. Miami's offense had suddenly come to life. But just as quickly as they were revived, the Dolphins' attack sputtered. Roland James, number 38, intercepted a David Woodley pass late in the third quarter, and the last chance for a Miami comeback had been stuck to the Dolphins like the blood on their uniforms. With the game safely tucked away, New England rested the ailing knees of Steve Grogan and turned their offensive scheme over to third-year quarterback Matt Cavanaugh. In limited playing time, Cavanaugh has quickly developed into a dependable backup. Against Miami, the former Pitt All-American came off the bench to hit Russ Francis for a touchdown. New England's lead was now 24-0. Cavanaugh would continue to make the most of his opportunity. Possessing fine touch for a young quarterback, Cavanaugh has the uncanny ability to lay the ball into the arms of his waiting receiver. He did it time and again in the fourth quarter against the Dolphins. The final Patriot touchdown was scored by reserve running back Alan Clark, number 35. It gave New England a resounding 34-0 victory over the Miami Dolphins. The score was not as important as the way in which it was accomplished. An effective running game balanced beautifully the passing of both Grogan and Cavanaugh as the Patriots gained 360 yards in total offense. But the big story was the New England defense. It held Miami to 88 yards and could very well be the key as the talent-laden Patriots look ahead to Burt Jones and the Baltimore Colts.